For today's enrichment lesson, we are going to be looking at taking unit rates and finding the best deal, or unit prices and finding the best deal. So, the following table shows the cost for 4 fruits. Which type of fruit has the lowest cost per pound? So basically, we are comparing 3 different fruits. That's why you see 3 different ratios set up here. So no matter what, though, we are comparing cost and pound. So I'm going to label each of these. Cost, pounds. Cost, pound. Cost, pound. So for the first one, and if it helps too, to highlight here, if we're going to do the cost in one color, so cost is going on top for all of ours, and the pounds in another color, so pounds is going on the bottom for each of ours. And this should say 3 fruits because it's not 4. So, for apples. The cost for apples, I'm going to label this so I know. Apples, bananas, peaches. So the cost for apples is $6 for 5 pounds. For each of these, we want to know which type has the lowest cost per pound. The word per means 1 pound. So in this proportion, pounds is 1. We want to find the cost. That is our unknown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up each of my proportions first. So the next proportion for bananas, the cost is $4 per 5 pounds. Same thing, it's going to be using the same scenario. We want to know what the cost is per 1 pound. So pounds is 1, that's on the bottom. We are solving for the cost. And our last one, the cost is $5 for peaches for 4 pounds. Using this same scenario, what's the lowest cost per pound, per 1 pound? Our unknown is the cost. So we're going to solve all 3 of these proportions. I'm going to highlight my different diagonals so I can easily spot what I need to multiply and divide by. And maybe I'm going to put a little divider between these so I'm separating them on my paper. So the diagonal that has 2 numbers in it is my yellow diagonal here. 6 times 1, which is 6. And I divide by the number that's in the same diagonal as the variable, so divide by 5. When I do that, 6 divided by 5, I get 1.2. What were we solving for? We were solving for money, which means we should have 2 decimal places, so I need to add a 0. So it's $1.20 per pound for the apples. You're going to notice it's going to be a pretty similar setup for each of these. So the next one for bananas, the diagonal that has 2 numbers is also my yellow, so I'm going to do 4 times 1, which is 4. I'm dividing by the number that's in the same diagonal as the variable, so I'm dividing by 5. 4 divided by 5 is 0.8. Again, we were solving for money, which means we need 2 decimal places, so I'm adding another 0. And that's also talking about per pound. And the last one, peaches. The diagonal with 2 numbers is also the yellow. I'm multiplying 5 times 1, which is 5. I'm dividing by the number that's in the same diagonal as the variable, so I'm dividing by 4. 5 divided by 4 equals 1.25. We were solving for money. This time I don't need to add a 0 because it already has 2 decimal places. So $1.25 per pound. Now we got to look at what the question was asking us. It said, which type of fruit has the lowest cost per pound? So, $1.20 per pound, 80 cents per pound, or $1.25 per pound. What is the smallest? What's the lowest amount? That is going to be this guy right here, our 80 cents per pound, which was the bananas. So our answer is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. All right. Number 2, the amount of hours 3 employees worked this week is shown in the table below. Which employee had the highest earnings per hour? So again, we are comparing 3 things here. We're comparing Sharon, Brock, and Tanaya. The 2 units that we are comparing is hours, which I'm going to put on top, and earnings, or our money, which I'm going to put on bottom here. So we're comparing hours and money. Hours and money. Hours and money for each of them. This one is Sharon. This one is Brock. This one is Tanaya. So for Sharon, she is 6 hours and $180. The question says, which employee has the highest earnings per hour? There's no number, but we see the word per 1 hour. So the 1 is referring to the hours. That's going to go on top there, which means this is our unknown on the bottom. Let's set ours up for Brock. Brock is 4 hours and $210. Same scenario, highest earnings per 1 hour, so the 1 is going on top with the hours, which means we are solving for the earnings. And then let's set up Tanaya. She's at 5 hours, $455. Same scenario, the highest earnings per 1 hour. X is our unknown. Now let's go ahead and solve these. So I'm going to highlight my proportion diagonals. And then just like I did up top, I'm going to divide mine a little bit so I can see the different ones I'm comparing. So we are going to multiply the diagonal that has 2 numbers in it. In this case, it's our pink one. So 180 times 1 equals 180. Divide by the number that's in the same diagonal as the variable, which is 6. 180 divided by 6 is 30. What were we solving for? We were solving for the money. So $30 per our other unit of hour. So Sharon is making $30 per hour. The next scenario, the diagonal that has 2 numbers is the pink again. So 210 times 1 equals 210. Divide by the number that's in the same diagonal as the variable, which is 4. 210 divided by 4 is 52.5. What were we solving for? Our X is on the bottom, which was money. Since we are talking about money, we need 2 decimal places, so I have to add a 0. So we're at 52.50 per our other unit of hour. So 52.50 per hour. And then our last one, the diagonal that has 2 numbers, again is the pink. So 455 times 1 equals 455. Divided by the number that's in the same diagonal as the variable, so divided by 5 equals 91. What were we solving for? We were solving for money. So $91 per hour. Wow, that was pretty nice. Tanaya's doing pretty well there. So we've got $30 per 1 hour, $52.50 per 1 hour, $91 per hour. We're looking at which employee has the highest earnings per hour. The highest number I see is 91, which is Tanaya. So Tanaya is our answer. She has the highest earnings per hour. You can pay $144 up front for 12 months of streaming service or $15 per month. How much less is the better deal? Okay, so that's a little bit tricky. Let's look at these two scenarios. So first we're looking at you can pay $144 up front for 12 months or you can pay $15 per month. So this scenario is already a unit rate. This is $15 per 1 month. Over here, you can pay $144 up front for 12 months. So we are comparing $144 for 12 months. So the two units we are comparing is money and months. So I'm going to set up a proportion comparing money and months. So we've got $144 on top and 12 months on the bottom. We, just like this one's already per month, we want to make this per 1 month as well. So 1 on the bottom, our unknown is on the top. And we're going to solve this proportion. So I'm going to highlight my diagonals. And we're going to solve. So the diagonal that has two numbers is the yellow diagonal, 144 times 1 equals 144, divided by the number that's on the same diagonal as the variable is 12, which equals 12. What were we solving for? X is on top, which is money, so $12 per month. So the question is, how much less is the better deal? Well, we've got $15 per month or $12 per month. We're looking for less, which means subtraction. So I'm going to take my higher number, which is 15. I'm going to subtract my lower number of 12, which is a difference of 3. So it's $3 less. We aren't going to do this last one. It's just like the ones on the front. So we have here where we're just picking out the best deal, and then we have here where we were comparing deals and saying how much was the difference between the two deals.